Hey folks, you join me for another wee fishing adventure. Today I am on my local beach, one of my local beaches. This one is Dornoch Beach. So today I am out with my trusty spinning rod, bombarda float, and I've got strips of mackerel and strips of squid as well to throw at these fish tonight. Tide's just turned, about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I'm going to be trying for some sea trout on the bombarda. I may switch over, I probably will switch over to just a regular Toby or something. I like my 10 gram bronze or gold Tobies, they work really well up here. So the water behind me here, you can see it's pretty low. Not a lot of water in here. There's quite a lot of weed beds kicking about, kelp beds. You might be able to pick some of them up in black out there. So the sea trout tend to hang around them at low tide. A lot of the guys, local guys, like fishing high tide, and they'll get this area behind me, just over here, and fish over these rocks and sort of lettuce, seaweed and that sort of thing. So they like to fish the high tide when it's slightly deeper. I like the challenge of low tide. So I've no tripod, no mics or anything tonight. I don't even know if this will make it onto YouTube or whatever, but we'll give it a go. I'll take you back if I see any fish, if I get any fish, or if there's any action, but I'll show you my setup in a while as well. This one will be quite a short video. There's not a lot to say about this place. Stick the mackerel strip on and give it a fling. Just a nice slow retrieve. So we'll see how it goes. Cheers! Well, been here about half an hour. The bombarda's been ditched. The wind is coming straight from that direction there, so almost straight out the southeast just now, which is blowing onto the beach here. So it's really not good for the bombarda at all. So stuck on a little Savage Seeker 12 gram green one. They're pretty good. Just to cut through the wind a bit and get out over these weed beds. I've had one follow from a very small sea trout. Nothing much doing at all. Not seen anything jumping, which is unusual for in here. Normally you would see them jumping, but it's early doors. As the tide pushes up a wee bit further, I think they may start showing a bit more. Here's hoping anyway. So hopefully we'll get something to show you in a while. I'm going to try and zoom in just to see if you can see the dark patches there of weed. So the sea trout will hang about them. You can see there down the beach, it's a massive expanse of open sand. So sea trout particularly like a bit of cover. They will patrol the beaches, but you know, when the tide's slack, they're not feeding. They'll tend to hunker down around these sorts of bits of structure and that. So if you're on the hunt for sea trout, never caught one, look for low tide, go down at low tide, have a look at the beach, look for any gullies, look for any rocks that are sort of intertwined with sand, and look for any of these weed beds as well. They'll hang about those sorts of areas. Ideally I would be down off the rocks there, down that sort of area. I'm fishing right the way out to that point there, but like I say, the wind is straight onto the shore here, and that'll be a bit of a waste of time. So yeah, that's where we're at. Just really waiting for some movement, some action. I see the birds are feeding further out. There might be mackerel out there or something. It's about the time of year we normally see them up here. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm just crossing through this wee channel here, but you can see the ground here. It's up to probably just past my knees, almost up to my waist already, but you can see it here, and it goes out maybe about 40-50 yards out there. Sea trout love this. They absolutely love this sort of ground. There's a wee bit of stringweed here and there. I'll see if I can take you over to look. But all these wee things are just cover. Cover for the bait fish, cover for the sand eels that the sea trout are chasing. So yeah, they'll be in about here. They'll be in about here when the tide comes up a little. Let's say we're probably only about 45 minutes after low tide here, so yeah, I've got a bit of time. I'll fish for maybe about a couple of hours. One of my brothers is possibly coming over for a couple of hours later on. It's a long day for us greenkeepers. We're in work I'm in just the back of 4 every morning, so yeah, coming out fishing at night it takes a bit of doing to try and motivate yourself to go out. But you always appreciate it when you're out. It's brilliant. You never regret going fishing, regardless of whether you catch anything or not. You'll be able to see the world famous Royal Dornoch golf course up there. Number 3 in the world. A lot of caddies out up there just now. It's the 10th tees up there, so yep, busy place. So guys, that's the first one. Quite a good one. About 1.75 pounds maybe. That took I'll just release him. There he goes. Off like a bullet. That was on the Savage Seeker, and yeah, at 1.75 pounds, you can see it's just looking mint now. Absolutely perfect. That took me just on the edge of a weed bed, felt it bang, just slowed the reel up and speeded up again as soon as it got about 3 turns. Once it got quicker, it was hooked and it took a while. Good fight, always a good fight with sea trout. I've seen an absolute monster jumping out there. It was maybe about 4 pound maybe, but it was at least 40 yards further than I cast, so probably about 120 yards out. Winds dropped lovely. Yeah, might get another one yet. So that's that finished. You can see behind me there, beautiful wee bay. That's my brother Sean there. And also Ewan's over by. He seen one jumping and he's gone and chased it. So yeah, nice wee evening. Not much action for you guys. I'll need to come up with something, maybe a GoPro or something, and stick it on the chest so you can see some fish. But yeah, nice fish earlier. I got a small one just before that, just after that, about 3/4 pound, not very big, but that was on a white Toby, 10 gram. Yeah, plenty jumping, plenty showing, but it's probably gone a wee bit too calm. So yep, time for me to go home to bed. Night night. Good evening, folks. You join me here on Dornoch Beach again. This is the night after the previous few clips. Last night was very wet, very poor weather. The fishing was decent, there was plenty of fish showing. It probably got too calm towards the end of that session and the fish just turned off. It was like mill pond flat, it was hopeless. But I got a nice sea trout, about 1.75 pounds, maybe just over that. And I got another one about 3/4 pound, which I put back as well. I am going to try and reach the bigger fish that were jumping last night. So initially I was fishing the weed beds close in, but there was serious big fish jumping like well out, about 130, 140 yards out. So that's what I'm trying to reach tonight. This big rod is the one that's going to be fishing that sort of distance. The little one on the right there, that's fishing around about maybe 50, 60 yards out, just on that near weed beds again. When I was wading last night with a spinning rod, I've seen lots of flatties in there. So yeah, maybe pick one of them up, maybe a small sea trout on that rod. It's baited with sand eel that I bought online. It's not great quality, but you know, a whole sand eel on there on each hook. They're only about 3-4 inches long, very thin. So a flat eel have no bother taking one of them. I've also got mackerel in the bag there, and I've also got lugworm, which is defrosting just now. This big rod is baited with mackerel and squid, and as I say, that's launched out miles. In fact, my line is empty, and there's over 200 metres of line on that, so it's empty, the spool. You can wade out here about 60-70 yards and then launch it, so yeah, it's a long way out. So hopefully in about those bigger trout that we're jumping. So my brother is over here behind me. He's just getting set up. He's got a bait rod which he's just getting ready, and he's also got a spinning rod. He's got to try the spinning again tonight. It looks a much better night for it. You'll see, I'll spin you around here. You'll see there's a bit of a ripple on it, and it looks pretty decent. You'll see some of the flat spots over here as well. I'll get behind you and show you actually. So there's some flat spots in the water out here. That's that shallow weed beds that are all about. And there's another one here just to the right of my rod, and I'll try and zoom into that for you. Just there, you can see it, there's two of them there. So that's where they were hanging out last night. And I think Sean, he's just perched just on the other side there just now. And he'll be fishing the other side. There's a rocky gully that comes in here. He's just on the other side of it, and he'll be fishing on the other side of that weed bed, trying to tempt them out there. I don't know if you're going to see this, but there's a whopping great big seal. Just come right in close here. The birds are chasing it just here. You can see they were swooping, and you can see the big boil, so that doesn't bode very well for the fishing tonight. Any sea trout 1 ounce of sense is going to be halfway to Norway by now. I just was over speaking to Sean there, and he is ledgering as well. So he's sat in his wee box there, enjoying life. Just watching that big seal swimming by him. So I think the turn of the tide is very shortly, in the next 5 or 10 minutes, which is good. It's been very quiet, not seen a thing, not seen a fish jump or anything. One little knock on that right hand rod from my first cast, nothing since. That's baited with lugworm now, all 3 hooks, just trying that. But I think I'll probably make a wee mix, put maybe 1 hook lugworm and a couple of sand eel, and lash them on with elastic to see if they'll stay on a bit better. The big rod's out fishing again, not quite as far this time, probably about 120 yards maybe from where I am just now, so we'll see what happens, see what occurs. Hopefully the turn of the tide will bring something. That's the idea anyway. Well, we'll take this little rod in, I think, get that rebaited. That's had a good 25 minutes soak there. No touches, nothing on it, so let's try and free the gripper lead out. Weed, possibly. So we'll get this rebaited and flung back out again. Oh, come on, fishies, where are yous? Slow the night. And it's not ideal for sea trout, it's so bright. Still quite early. When the sun starts going down a bit, you might see something moving, but it's rare not to see ones jumping. Just tighten that up just a touch, I think. There's a wee bit of movement on it. There's nothing on the big one, but there was definitely a knock on that right hand rod. Looked like a crab, to be honest, but just one of that slow pulls and then it jerks back. Very quiet night. It wasn't until about an hour after the tide that I seen one jumping last night away around in the rocks over there. And then as the tide pushed in and this area filled up, that's when they came into this area in here then. But either way, we're fishing. You've got to have a line in the water to catch a fish, so it's nice to be out regardless. It's a beautiful evening. It's always good to be on the beach, always good to have a cast, hearing that sea breaking and the waves crashing in, and it's lovely. It's nice to get something to show you, but at the same time, you know, we'll put the video out there, regardless of whether we get something or not. There's no point in fishing and just showing the days you're going to catch. You're not going to have much material to upload. There's a lot of days you're going to blank, and that's just fishing, so you need to keep it real. It definitely looks like crabs in that right hand rod there, the sand eels on it. It's a very slow bounce on it. Let's see if I can get you around and see Sean casting here. He's wading out there. It'll just be a flick, I think. I don't think we'll be going too far. No. A good 70 yards maybe. If you're coming up here at all to fish, it's probably a wise idea to take the waders. It just gets you that wee bit extra that you get back out into the areas where the fish normally are at low tide. At high tide you don't need them at all. The fish really are within 20 yards of the shore at high tide here. They're just in that deep gully I was telling you about earlier. Yeah, time to change it up, I think. Need to move the rods anyway, so. Untouched. just got to get a horse straight back out. I've not even been touched. So just going a wee flick out here this time. There we go. I'll pull you back. We're not going back far. Look at that. Beautiful, eh? Catching fish really doesn't matter when I get out on this. This is just stunning. I'm going to stick you on the other side here. Just to give you a wee bit more of a different perspective. So we're looking at the golf course over there and the two rods fishing here. So the one nearest you is a big one. It's 70, 80 yards out here to my right. Switched it over. And the left-hand one is out about 60 yards and it's between a couple of weed beds and just over some rocks. The tide's really racing in now over this sandbank. It's coming in behind me here into this little gully, and there's not much left of this bank. I have to shift my stuff over the other side, and I think this will be the last cast. Once this one's back in, that'll be it, time to go home. I'll leave the big rod out for a wee bit, but the wee one's going to have to come in, and I'm going to have to shift my stuff as well because it's pretty much getting wet. Better get you guys back up the beach. These are getting wet there. Take you back up. So you can see it's just coming round behind me here. Not much left. The rods are in the water there, and get you up over here. Let this one fish on for another 15 minutes or something. I'll take another rod there. There's not a thing on it, but just take the back a wee bit. My brother striking there. If there was a fish on that, I tell you, it's not got teeth left. What a strike he put on that. He's striking into a marlin. It doesn't look like there's anything on it. So I think that's time. Give us another 5 minutes and head home. So it just goes to show you the difference in day-to-day sea trout fishing. Last night, wet, dreich, wind coming off the sea, not ideal, yet fish jumping everywhere, catching a couple, lost a couple. Tonight we've got the wind right behind us, sea looks perfect, there's a nice ripple on it, you would think the fish would be moving and jumping and chasing and feeding, and yet not a touch, not a sign, not a... It's quite incredible how pernickety these fish can be. You can go many times along the beach just for a walk thinking there's no point in fishing, and you'll see them jumping. And you come down with a rod, and nights like tonight, you think it's going to be brilliant. Not a thing. Really frustrating at times. But, you know, that is fishing. If we caught every time, it would get boring. So, it'll bring us out the next time. Yeah, so I'm going to pack up, guys. Take this one in. Get it pulled apart. Load up the car, get home, get showered, and get in my bed. I've got a 3:05 alarm clock tomorrow morning for work, so yeah, the joys. So folks, thank you very much for joining again. Hopefully the next time we'll have a bit more luck, and you might see something. Until then, thank you again. Thank you for the support, thank you for all the comments, and thank you for the advice. You know who you are. It's been much appreciated. And yeah, we'll catch you again. Take care now, tight lines.